The Pale King.
He was neither man nor god, yet he held dominion over both. He was the fulcrum, the silent guardian, the keeper of the delicate balance between life and death. His throne, carved from the bone-white branches of the world tree, overlooked the swirling chaos of existence. He saw it all. Every birth, every death, every whisper of joy, every scream of despair. His face, if it could be called such, was obscured by a veil woven from moonlight and shadow. It shifted and danced, revealing glimpses of impossible beauty and terrifying majesty. In his hands, he held the scales of fate. One side, heavy with the weight of countless lives, the other, eternally poised for the inevitable descent. He was ageless, timeless, his existence stretching back to the first spark of creation. He was the shepherd of souls, guiding them through the veil of death and into whatever lay beyond.
The Pale King, the silent watcher, the unseen hand.
His was a lonely vigil, a burden borne with stoic grace, for he understood perhaps more than any other the terrible beauty of existence, a tapestry woven from an infinity of threads, each one precious, each one fleeting, and so he watched, and he waited, for the day when the balance would tip, and the very fabric of existence would be threatened. He knew that day would come, it was only a matter of time. Ellen knelt in the cold earth, her breath misting in the night air. Moonlight painted the forest floor in shades of silver and black. Her village, nestled in the valley below, was shrouded in an unnatural silence. Fear, thick and suffocating, hung heavy in the air.
I can feel it. The darkness.
A creeping dread seeped from the edges of the forest, whispering of oblivion. It had already claimed her parents, her friends, leaving behind only empty eyes and cold, lifeless hands. Now, it clawed at the edges of her village, hungry for more. Desperation clawed at her throat.
I prayed to the gods. I offered them everything, but they didn't listen. Or maybe, they just didn't care.
But there were whispers, ancient legends passed down through generations. Stories of the Pale King, the silent guardian who watched over the balance of life and death. He was a being of immense power, it was said, but also one of terrible indifference. Yet, even the faintest hope was enough to cling to. So Ellen, her heart heavy with grief and a desperate hope, began to pray.
Please, Pale King, hear me.
Not to the gods who had abandoned them, but to the entity who existed beyond them, to the Pale King himself. The air shimmered, the moonlight twisting and contorting as a figure materialized before her. He was tall, impossibly so, his form shrouded in a cloak of woven shadows. The air grew cold, and Ellen's breath caught in her throat. She knew with a certainty that went beyond reason that she was in the presence of something ancient and powerful.
You called.
The voice echoed, devoid of inflection. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once.
What is it you desire, mortal?
Ellen rose to her feet, her gaze never leaving the shadowed figure before her. Fear warred with determination in her heart.
My village, the darkness, it's taking them. I beg you, save them.
The figure remained silent, the only movement the slow, deliberate swing of the scales of fate he held in his hands. Ellen could feel his gaze, heavy and assessing, boring into her very soul.
The balance must be maintained, life for life, that is the law.
Desperation welled up inside her.
Then take mine, spare them and take me in their place. Let my life be the price for theirs.
The Pale King regarded her for a moment, his expression unreadable beneath the veil of shadows. Then, a slow nod.
So be it.
Section 4. The Celestial Cataclysm, when shadows rise against light. High above the mortal realm, a war was raging. A battle of unimaginable scale, fought on a canvas of starlight and shadow. It was a conflict as old as time itself, a clash of ideologies personified. Light against dark, order against chaos, life against death.
I stand as the arbiter of existence, the balance between all things, yet even I feel the chaos threatening to engulf everything.
Beside him stood Azrael, the angel of death. His wings, vast and feathered, stretched out like a tapestry of obsidian and starlight. His eyes, pools of molten gold, burned with a fierce, unwavering light.
My loyalty to you is eternal, my king. Together we will hold the line against the void.
They were arrayed against a force of unimaginable darkness, a being of pure, consuming nothingness, its very existence anathema to the delicate balance the Pale King struggled to maintain. It called itself Oblivion, and its hunger knew no bounds. The air crackled with energy as the two forces collided. Swords of celestial fire clashed against blades of pure darkness. The cries of fallen angels echoed through the void, each death a reverberation of despair. The very fabric of reality groaned under the strain, threatening to unravel at the seams.
I am ancient, a force of nature, but even I feel the strain of this relentless assault.
The Pale King fought with cold fury, his every movement a testament to his ancient power, but Oblivion's forces pushed him to the brink, a relentless tide of shadow threatening to consume everything. Section 5. A Symphony of Blades, Echoes of Courage in the Void. Azrael moved with a grace that belied his terrifying aspect. His blade, forged from the heart of a dying star, cut through the encroaching darkness with ruthless efficiency. Each swing was a symphony of death, a dance of inevitability that claimed the souls of Oblivion's minions.
I am the shepherd of souls. Let them come. I will send them to their end.
Around them, the celestial battle raged. Angels ablaze with celestial fire clashed with monstrous beings born of shadow and despair. The air thrummed with unleashed energies, a cacophony of light and darkness threatening to shatter existence itself. But even as the tide seemed to turn against them, a new sound rose above the din of battle, a sound of defiance, of unwavering courage. It resonated with the Pale King's very being, a sound that spoke of sacrifice and hope. It was the sound of Ellen.
I will not falter. I will not let the darkness win.
Her once mortal form now shimmered with a power that defied her earthly origins. Imbued with the Pale King's essence, she moved through the battlefield with a speed and ferocity that surprised even the celestial warriors. Her scythe, a simple farming tool now imbued with celestial energy, became a blur of motion. Each swing cut through Oblivion's minions, a testament to her unwavering will and desperate need to protect the balance.
She fights with a courage I have not seen in eons. Her spirit burns brighter than the stars.
Ellen's courage became a beacon of hope, bolstering the morale of the celestial forces. Even in the face of overwhelming darkness, her light shone fiercely. Section 6. The Weight of Choice, A King's Burden, A Mortal's Legacy. The Pale King watched Ellen fight, a flicker of surprise touching his ancient heart. He had expected obedience, resignation, not the fierce, unwavering courage that burned within her mortal shell.
Her spirit, it is unlike anything I have seen. She reminds me why balance is worth fighting for.
He felt the weight of his choices, the burden of maintaining balance in a universe determined to tear itself apart. Ellen's sacrifice struck a chord within him, a stark reminder of the preciousness of life and the indomitable spirit of even the most fragile creatures.
True balance is not found in cold detachment, it is found in compassion, in understanding.
With newfound clarity, the Pale King unleashed a wave of energy that ripped through Oblivion's forces. The celestial armies rallied, inspired by Ellen's unwavering courage.
The tide has turned. We will not yield to the void.
Oblivion, sensing its grip on reality weakening, turned its fury toward the source of its frustration. But the Pale King stood firm, his resolve solidified by the sight of Ellen fighting alongside Azrael.
As long as hope remains, I will not fall.
Section 7. The Unending Dance, An Echo of Balance, A Whisper of Mystery. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity. Slowly, inexorably, the tide began to turn. The forces of Oblivion faltered, weakened by the Pale King's resolve and the bravery of those who stood with him. With a final, earth-shattering roar, Oblivion was banished back into the void. The celestial realm, battered and bruised, began to heal. Stars flickered back to life, and the balance was restored, at a terrible cost. Ellen, her mortal form ravaged by celestial energies, collapsed to her knees. The Pale King approached her, his shadowed form radiating an unfamiliar warmth.
You have fought bravely. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten.
With a gesture, he restored her to life, her body healed, her spirit renewed. He returned her to the mortal realm where her village greeted her as a hero.
I'm home.
The Pale King remained in the celestial realm, carrying with him the memory of Ellen's sacrifice. The balance had been restored, but the war was far from over.
For as long as existence endures, I will stand. The dance between light and darkness, between life and death, will continue.
But for now, there was peace. And in that peace, a whisper of mystery lingered, a reminder of the enduring power of courage, sacrifice, and the Pale King's eternal watch.